Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is the Ravenous Spectre. And I already know that I'm probably going to end up getting some crap for this video. I already know that I'm probably going to get some dislikes and probably get some negative comments on it, possibly, but I'm going to be as honest to goodness, fair, and balanced and equal as I possibly can with this when it boils down to PlayStation Plus games. This may be a short video, I'm not really sure. We'll just have to see. But my whole thought on the whole thing with PlayStation Plus is when it first came out, I didn't go for it. I thought it was just some random service that Sony was doing because of the fact that they wanted extra money. But when I actually looked a little bit deeper into it some odd years ago, I went ahead and ended up getting it. And I didn't think it was a bad service. I liked the fact that there was some extra additional features they were actually adding on as time went on, due to the fact of cloud saves, which I don't really bother with cloud saves too much, and I made a video on that about how I think cloud saves are faulty because I'm a victim of them. I guess that could be the word victim. You could use word whatever. But and also the deals that you get with PlayStation Plus as well in terms of when they have digital sales. I mean, you could go ahead and just get something digital on there or see what type of sales they have going on. But when you have PlayStation Plus, you actually get more of a discount. Maybe not usually too much if it is already on sale, but hey, saving a few dollars is saving a few dollars or two or one. But whatever. But one of the things that it seems like has really changed is obviously the free games that come out. And back when PS Plus was just a service that was just something you could get if you felt like getting it, that's when the games were really there to entice you to get the service. Nowadays, you have to have the service to play online with PlayStation Plus. So in turn, most of those free games are going really lax. Now, obviously, everybody's going to have different opinions on games. Everybody likes different genres. Everybody likes different games. And I'm pretty sure maybe there's some people out there that whenever the free PlayStation Plus games are released each month, there's something there that they might like or they might not like or whatever. But the overall consensus of things seems like a lot of people aren't caring anymore about these free games. And one of the reasons is from what I've heard, is the fact that you got these games that are either don't interest anyone or nobody knows about them. And yeah, of course, you would get a game out there for people who don't know about a specific game to try to entice them or want to play it or, maybe buy it in the future, whatever. But the way that it is, it seems like they're putting out all of these indie titles and all of these other titles that just have no interest whatsoever to people. And obviously, the funny thing, the only PlayStation Plus game that I feel like I'm going to end up completing in a long time is, you're going to find this funny, it's going to be Zombie. The one that was released for Wii U, and then they took the U off because they ended up putting it on PlayStation 4. And as lacking as the content may be in that game, there was just something about it that brought me towards it to make me want to play it. And, maybe some people didn't care about it and some did or whatever, but at some point I'm going to actually end up finishing it. I actually got farther in that game than I had any other PlayStation Plus title, free title that came out in a long time. And it seems like every nowadays, when they come out month after month, there's maybe one or two here and there every few months or something that I may be interested in. And the recent the recent May PlayStation Plus titles that were going to be coming out didn't interest me at all. None of them did. I'm honestly probably not even going to bother with them. I mean, I may dip my toe in the water and see just what the heck they're all about, and that's pretty much it. But there's nothing there that entices me to want to play through it, to want to finish it, or nothing like that. So the main thing that gets to me is back when PlayStation Plus was just a service that you could get when just for the fact of just getting the extra features, basically paying $50 for an entire year and just getting extra features and free games and whatnot. That's when they really were putting forth the effort to put out a lot of really good titles, I think. Now, granted, we can't expect there to always be AAA titles. We can't. I mean, that's obvious. You know, you can't always expect that when it comes to PlayStation Plus, because obviously they need to have a way to be able to promote indie developers and be able to promote smaller games and things of that nature. But you would think there would be some type of interest or something there, because ever since PlayStation Plus had been going on, before Sony really just took this leap over to just doing a bunch of indies and games that nobody knows about or even heard about or care about or nothing like that. They had a lot of AAA titles, but they also had some indie titles as well. But those specific titles had some type of following. It had some type of interest. It had some type of backing to it where people were really interested in and wanting to know what it's about. You know, and it's really just came to a point to me now where I don't even care about the free titles anymore. Maybe there might be one that comes along in a blue moon, and that's pretty much it. But overall, I'm not caring anymore. I almost feel like I'm to the point of not even wanting to have PlayStation Plus anymore. But then again, that also brings into play with the multiplayer thing on PlayStation 4. Obviously, you have to have it to be able to play multiplayer on PlayStation 4. Now, granted, I very rarely have anything to do with multiplayer. I mean, the most recent multiplayer thing that I've done is Alienation on PlayStation 4, which, by the way, is a badass game. Definitely get it. Housemarque did a great job with it. You know, they did a great job, obviously, with Resogun. They did a great job with Dead Nation, Super Stardust HD, things of that nature. Definitely get Alienation. You know, that's just as a brief little interlude right there, a little uh, cheap pop, I guess you could say, for the game. But that's the first time in a long time that I have ever had anything to do with any type of multiplayer features on the PlayStation 4. And it may come to a point to where I just don't want to bother with PlayStation Plus anymore. And if there's a specific multiplayer game or something that comes out, maybe I'll get PlayStation Plus for a month or two or whatever. I think it's like you can get it for a month and then get it for 3 months and then get it for a year, whatever. I'll probably just pick a specific time that I want to use it for and then just let it go. Because this really just came to the point to where one of the main things that actually grabbed people towards the service is pretty much just fizzling out. I mean, it really is. It truly is. I'm just speaking this obviously from a personal opinion here. I mean, you guys will have different opinions, but it seems like to me, from what I've been hearing and reading, the overall consensus is the fact that people aren't interested in these titles. They're not. They're not caring. Like I said, you may find a diamond in the rough here and there for certain people, but overall, the overall public, in terms of having PlayStation Plus, just they don't care anymore. And hell, if I can save myself $50 a year, I'll darn sure do it. I absolutely will. It doesn't even bother me one way or another anymore. If like I mentioned, if I have a multiplayer title that I want to play, I could see myself maybe plopping down $15 a month or 3 months or whatever it is. But basically, I would be paying less than what I would be for an entire year just to have that specific period of time to be able to play that multiplayer game with friends or whoever, you know. But with that being said, that's pretty much all I can think of in terms of dealing with PlayStation Plus. Obviously, I didn't get on here and rant and rave and act like a complete lunatic or nothing like that, because there was no reason for me to, because everybody's going to have varying opinions when it comes to something like this. You're either going to like the games or you're not going to like the games, but for me, from my personal opinion, and it seems like from what I've been reading, everybody just doesn't care anymore. Because it really seems to me like Sony is not even trying anymore in terms of giving out certain free games. And obviously, you have to have the service to be able to play the free games. It's kind of funny, actually, because I remember back on PlayStation 3 or PlayStation Plus, this was some odd years ago, a friend actually of mine had told me, he said, well, when your PlayStation Plus subscription runs out, you can actually unplug your landline and still have your free games on there to play if your subscription runs out. But the moment you plug it back in again, they'll be locked out. Which I just thought that was kind of funny. You know, I guess it's not like that nowadays, and especially not with PlayStation 4 if you're hooked up. I mean, I'm not even sure maybe you could get access to them. I don't think with the free PlayStation Plus games unless you're actually hooked up online. I'm not really sure. Whatever. I'm not going to test that out, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason to rant and rave about it. It's just the fact of you vote with your wallet. If you want to be able to keep PlayStation Plus, and so be it. If you don't, then you don't. That's one reason why I never have anything renewed with me when it comes to that, because it may come to a point where I don't care, and I just don't want to have it renewed and then just take $50 out and I forget about it, and I'm just like, oh, well, yeah, great, here we go, $50 taken out for something that I don't even care about anymore. So when it comes time for me to renew, well, that's going to be up to Sony in terms of their offerings and with the free games department, because that's the main thing that I think people really go for is the free games. So anyways, with that being said, I'll end this like I always do. Wow, that was kind of a long video. It was 10 minutes. It'll go over 10 minutes. Yeah. Later, taters.